Welcome to beautiful Laughlin, Nevada, as we get you set for some thrilling desert racing. Hello everybody, I'm Jack Corpella, and as you can tell, the beautiful picturesque surroundings behind me make this a popular vacation spot, but don't let that fool you, because there's nothing tranquil about what is down here. This is one of the most abusive, punishing, and aggressive courses in all of racing. In Laughlin, it's a combination of short course and endurance. What that means is we're gonna see some high speeds, deep berms, incredibly high whoops, razor sharp rocks. It's all about who can make it to the finish line. Hold on tight, round 2 of Best in the Desert starts now.
A beautiful body of water, so clear, so clean, you can see your feet in the bottom. And once a year, the quaint gaming town of Laughlin, Nevada becomes the mecca of horsepower. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the King Racing Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic. Jack Corpella, pleased to be joined with multi-time motocross champion Grant Langston.
Great to be here. This is going to be a great one. Some big changes this year to the course, and you can see the start there side by side. This is going to be really interesting.
That's right, that drag racing start that this place is famous for. And Grant, we have so much to talk about because we were just here 6 months ago, but flip that script because we are running this track in reverse. It'll still be 4 laps on a 17-mile loop. Race director Donald Jackson got very creative and built some huge obstacles. And hey, by the way, weather, throw a torrential downpour into this thing on day number 1, and you have the recipe for a totally different race like we've never seen before.
Oh, it's going to be very technical. I mean, with so many laps and so many vehicles going around, it's going to get beat up. They've added a couple new sections. You see mile marker 5, but getting down here, they got the King Shocks downhill drop. Pretty technical, and then coming back, the King Shock whoops, really testing these vehicles before they hit the roller coaster section, and you'll see that in a minute, but it looks fantastic. Really putting these trucks to the test.
It will be a battle of attrition, a fight for survival. This track is normally known as punishing, demanding, and cruel, but now, throw those gallons upon gallons of water that came down on Saturday, and everything has changed. It was hard for even passenger vehicles to get around. Now take a look at the course. Some of these buggies turned into submarines. More than 4 feet of water on some parts of this course, and that means the racers who persevere and shine in the rain were the ones that came out on top. Jason Voss, Abdali Lopez, Adam Householder, James Dean, all individuals to keep an eye on. Let's take you back to day number 1 in the 1500 category. James Dean looking to get off the schneid. He crashed hard here last year. The MavTV team coming off a win at the Parker 425. Young Connor McMullen persevering. This was absolutely nasty.
Oh, very nasty, especially if you're around another one of these vehicles. Vision very limited, but James Dean stayed smooth. He was out front, looked good. We caught up with him.
About 8 a.m. this morning, the track started pouring. It was raining hard down here, so the track got real beat up. It's water everywhere. The corners are just filled. I've never been in a race this gnarly, in all honesty. Like, I couldn't believe how bad the water was today.
And that set the stage for day number 2, a thrilling and rousing sprint to the finish. And look at the difference in weather. The sun is now out, completely different conditions than we saw on day number 1.
Oh, it's really unbelievable. If you look what they've done, they've got to give the track crew a really big pat on the back. This whole front section here was underwater. They've groomed it. The moisture is perfect. I mean, it's just going to be great, at least in this front part. Some of the back sections in the lower area, a little bit wet still.
Well, much to the chagrin of James Dean and Connor McMullen, they will be able to see much better today. James Dean took his visor off yesterday. He had sand in his eyes. When we conducted that interview, his eyes were bright red. He could barely see. But what are you going to do? You can't pull a tear off every 5 seconds when it's that bad.
Eventually going to run out of tear-offs or even roll-offs for some of these guys, but good start there for James Dean. once again, he's going to enjoy that luxury of having open track. Look at that. Some nice big rollers, but you can see the moisture is just perfect today. Just an absolute 180 turnaround from yesterday.
The racing surface is perfect, but not to be the pessimist, Grant. The downside of that is, can you imagine how chewed up some of these back sections are? Can you imagine how deep those holes are going to be after all the rain we saw yesterday?
Well, with all that traction, means you can be on the throttle a lot harder. These guys will be driving the machines to the limit. I think yesterday they all had to take care of the equipment. Today it's all about all-out speed. Speaking of speed, look at this right now.
Some great side-by-side racing. That's what you have to love when we come here to Laughlin, Nevada. That was the idea behind this race when founder Casey Folks decided to come here. He said this one was all about giving back to the fans. We see spectators barbecuing up on the hill. They get to see the start. They get to see the finish. They get to see some of these crazy supercross-like obstacles. Donald Jackson built the roller coaster this year. There's a lot to see.
A lot to see indeed. James Dean seeing a whole different course this time around. Way different than yesterday. Clean. Obviously got some plenty of fresh vision.
Great performance thus far for the 25-year-old third-generation racer, but look out, he's got Bob Laughlin coming behind him. Brandon Bailey, who had a tremendous performance for the Stronghold team, is on the move. We've got a lot to sort out. Stay with us.
The King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic is brought to you by Maxxis, your way to adventure. Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. And by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world.
Building a country is hard work. That's why Ford builds the Super Duty. To help build the roads, the buildings, and everything else that needs to get built. There are trucks. And then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios, the authority in communications.
Welcome back to the King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic, where this young man, 19-year-old sensation Connor McMullen, is nearly unstoppable. Almost a perfect day thus far, Grant.
Oh, you see him through that section there, just using the throttle, blipping it through the rollers, and we'll get a sense of where they're at on the track right now at mile marker 10.4. So pretty deep into this race, looking comfortable. That buggy just working so well at the moment for him.
Yeah, what a talent McMullen is. His ultimate goal is to step up into the truck category one day as he flies over the Needles Highway jump. Let's take you back to lap number 2. James Dean was off to a great start, ran into some traffic. A great battle ensued between Bailey, Laughlin, and McMullen, but attrition would rear its ugly head. Bailey, after such a great start to the season, crashed out. And Grant, look at this. The Laughlin curse gets Dean once again.
I think a lot of it with the track conditions, guys are able to push it hard today, but vehicles are breaking down. This has allowed Sam Berry, he's second on track, but is actually on a lapse time, our current leader, as he launches over the cross street jump there.
Yes, remember, it's a combined elapsed time of day 1, day 2. Peter Hodges having a great run so far. So what a dichotomy. First place, Connor McMullen, 19 years old. Chasing him down is the 66-year-old veteran, Sam Barry. We got all different skill levels, all different ages. Connor McMullen, he takes the checkered flag. A Boffo magnificent performance for that man.
Yeah, absolutely incredible drive there. As we see coming towards us, Tom Coons, fourth on track. Solid result for him. But let's throw it down to our race winner.
Today, we knew we had James Dean in front of us, one of the fast guys. And today's pace was just, go for the finish. And, we have the Mint 400 in 2 weeks. But all in all, the day was good. I got caught by that MavTV car and Bob Laughlin out on the back section back there by the mountain. And I let them go by. And then with the flat tire and then Laughlin, I don't know what happened to James Dean, but I was just trying to run a smooth pace today. And, the team and I did very well. It was just a flawless, 2 days of racing here at Laughlin again. I couldn't thank my team enough for, all their hard work, all my friends and family, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend. GetTheT.com, H&L Life Oil, Method Tensor Tire, Redline Performance, Fox Shocks, everybody who, Phoenix Commercial Electric, United Construction Group, and Kevin McMullen Racing, of course, who preps my car, and just everybody in Best in the Desert for all the amazing stuff that they do.
Remember that name. That young man is going places. Well, here comes the veteran Sam Barry, one of the few racers who chooses to drive it alone. He comes home with a second place finish. Very impressive. Let's take a look at what's going on behind him, the 6,200 category. Here comes Darren Eberts.
Darren, a guy with a lot of experience and also a lot of a great technical background, knows how to get that vehicle set up.
Water a major problem this weekend. Some of the drivers told me a secret is to spray all those electrical connections with hairspray. Let's kick it down to Sam Barry, who's got to be ecstatic.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, I couldn't have done it with everybody that's behind me. And it's just, we have bad days and bad days and bad days. It's really sweet to have a good day and come in here. And that's why I give it Connor a little bump, just because the kid can drive. And I wanted to try and catch him, but I know he drives pretty hard. But I couldn't do it without, King Shock is out here sponsoring this thing, and they sponsor me, and they're great. They're fantastic. And Redline and Jamar and Jim Cohen. But everybody on this car, between my crew and my wife and everybody involved here at the pits, it made it happen, and we had a great time today.
Always unpredictable out here in the desert. Great run for Peter Hodges coming across. Second 1,000 vehicle across the line.
Did you see the size of those potholes coming up to the finish line? They are really getting tore up. There's this track, as you see, Andrew Yurcho having a really solid drive. But let's go down and catch up with Peter Hodges.
It was just a beautiful day. Everything worked well. The car was prepped immaculately. The course was a lot more, prone to good driving than yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a dice roll. So just had a lot of fun. Drove it really hard. Connor's fast. He wins it. He wins it again. He's a fast kid, but it was a lot of fun. Just had a great day. Best in the Desert did a hell of a job, and just a beautiful weekend.
A rousing and fascinating day of racing, and we're just getting started. We still got two major classes on deck. Let's take a look at the official results. Young Connor McMullen gets the win, and that is going to shake up the points here in round number 2.
One thing you'll also notice, a lot of DNF did not finish. See James Dean in there and a whole host of other drivers. This course just proved very technical today.
That's right. A lot of drivers telling us it was incredibly rough, incredibly bumpy, nearly impassable ruts. And what's that mean for the 6100 class and the unlimited trophy trucks? We're about to find out because they are on deck getting warmed up. We're just getting started here from beautiful Laughlin, Nevada. The King Shocks Desert Classic rolls on.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks. And then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Time to unleash about 450 horsepower. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the King Shock's Laughlin Desert Classic. Jack Corpella and motocross champion Grant Langston with you. Let's take a look back at what was a sloppy and unpredictable day one. Kyle Jurgensen got off to a great start, but a lot of racers having a lot of trouble, losing vision, losing the brakes, you name it, full send, calamity everywhere.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of a mechanical problem there. I don't know if you left it that late, but Kyle Jurgensen was your leader.
He fell back, his 4-race win streak in jeopardy. RJ Anderson stepped up. The short course star takes the win.
That's pretty rad. I really just got to give it up to Adam Lunn, who owns this truck, and the Trophy Tractor boys. BF Goodrich tires were awesome all day, and yeah, conditions are definitely going to be different tomorrow, and they're going to be really, really rough. We still have the trick trucks going later today, and then a whole day of racing tomorrow before we go. So it's going to be really rough. You're going to have to be smart in the rough sections because it's going to be brutal. And man, I think there's going to maybe even be some dust tomorrow. So hopefully we get that whole shot and just stay in clean air all day.
Some dust. We go from wet sand in your face to dust. Pick a season out here in Laughlin, huh?
It's unbelievable. That's the desert for you. I mean, we've seen it before. We'll probably see it again, but changing track conditions make it really tough on teams, drivers, everyone. You go from trying to survive day one to all out maybe on day two. We'll find out.
RJ Anderson certainly shining, putting his short course skills on display. We'll see who gets the whole shot here. You got to love this drag racing start that fans love in Laughlin.
Well, you would think RJ Anderson would like this a lot. Coming from that short course, tight racing action, there is a seam, you could call it, wall between these guys, but look at that. RJ unable to hold him off. So Grabowski gets a great jump out front. Can he hold it?
Gets to enjoy that clear vision. Some changes to this category this year. They used to run 37-inch tires. That's been changed to 40. They've also upped the maximum displacement to 525 cubic inches, giving these trucks a little bit more power this year. They also have underdrives that drops the gear ratio and makes these vehicles last longer. That's always a good thing when you look at some of the astronomical budgets.
Yeah, keeping the cost down, obviously something that all these drivers would love to hear, but we also want fast trucks that can launch over these jumps.
Alexander Ford team doing a great job. Here comes Troy Messer and Terry Householder side by side. So many of the racers in the buggy category warned these 6100 drivers. They said, if you thought yesterday was rough, get ready because those holes are immense.
Oh yeah, they're going to be able to get on the throttle way early and a lot harder. You see Dustin Grabowski, just the speed carrying through these fast sections. These trucks are just a sight to see in person.
Something I want to drive home to anybody that may be new to this sport as we watch James Dean take off looking for redemption. There is a track crew for the infield, and it's very well prepped, as you can see. But out there in the middle of the course, there is no track crew. There is no prep. You don't know what you're going to run into. It could be a 2-foot hole. It could be a 6-foot hole. There could be a rock right in the middle of your line. It's so unpredictable.
Well, you can see it right here. You can see the difference. A lot rougher out here, but that beginning part, just so cool. Gives these guys a chance to really show their skill in front of the crowd and the fans that are right here by the river. And you can see how much more aggressive the drivers are today. Yesterday, the trucks were just sliding and the buggies just pushing and using those berms to get some sort of traction. Today, power sliding beautifully through there.
Yeah, they flat out could not see yesterday. So many came in with red eyes and sand all over their face. Now vision at a premium today. Normally they are engulfed in dust clouds here in Laughlin. It's one of the hallmarks of this racetrack, but not today. That soil is perfect.
On board here with Brandon Arthur. He's another staple driver looking to get off to a great start. And you can see how beautiful it is out there. We keep talking about it. It's just unbelievable, the change from one day to another. James Dean had a bit of bad luck. Will it turn around?
Yeah, great opportunity for him to pull double duty and get off the schneid. Let me ask you this. Does Dean have a tremendous advantage being that he's already seen this course?
I believe there's got to be some advantage to that. No, Here we go. We've got the chrome horn going. Taylor Mills, Ryan Hancock.
Yeah, the Alexander Ford team right on the bumper of the rat hole truck. We got ourselves a battle.
Neither one of these guys wanting to lift an inch. Look at this. Really hard to pass. You can tell parts of the sections of the track just very difficult to know.
We're door to door. There's holes everywhere. Who will emerge victorious? We'll find out when we return.
The King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic is brought to you by Ford, built Ford tough. Polaris Razor, fuel your passion. And by K&N, superior airflow, superior performance.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios. The authority in communications.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks. And then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
Laughlin is one of the most grueling courses on tour. It features sharp rocks. It features sand washes where it's almost impossible to get traction. To make it to the end, you better have a tire that lasts and a tire that's going to give you optimum traction. One of the most popular choices is this Maxxis Liberty. We've heard so much about this. Mike Farmer from Maxxis joins us. Mike, what is it about this tire that has everybody talking?
Right. Well, you know what? We've been building tires for 50 years, and it's all about construction, tread design, and what you have in this tire is a design that's specifically for the desert racer. The Maxxis Liberty, this tire is specifically made for our desert racers, and what you have with this tire is a tread pattern that's got a close tread pattern to it. That keeps sticks and rocks and things from getting in between the knob pattern and puncturing the tire. It also gives you long lasting. For the weekend warrior, this tire will be probably the tire of choice simply because it works good. And again, if you're on pavement ever, it puts up that without abuse as well. We've been building tires for 50 years, and the test bed is the racer. We use our racers, whether it be motorcycle, UTV, or truck. Those guys are constantly giving us feedback, and it constantly makes for a better product. The reason a weekend warrior would like this tire, it gives them longevity, but it also gives them great traction. It's kind of the best of both worlds on a tire.
Well, if you have a UTV and you want a great tire that is not going to let you down, make sure you check out this Maxxis Liberty. Where can people get more information?
Just go to Maxxis.com. There's full spec sheets there. You can see this tire and all the other tires that we make, Maxxis.com.
It's been a big year for Maxxis as we welcome you back to the King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic. You know, the Maxxis Triple Crown will pay more than $600,000 in bonus money this year. Very valuable to these racers.
Oh, and very important as well. This is an expensive sport, so kudos to Maxxis for stepping up. I'm sure the drivers really appreciate that. As we have an onboard look here at James Dean taking the lead, getting around Grabowski there. Just a nice power move.
What an opportunity for redemption for the 25-year-old third-generation racer. He's looking good so far. Let's go on board now with Troy Messer. He's running 4th place on track. Look at how rough and choppy it is.
You can tell both drivers and machine taking abuse right there. This track really has broken down. And I think it's with everyone driving just a little more aggressively in these perfect conditions for racing.
Yeah, we're really bunched up, too. You see the margin between these trucks. There's not much distance. I think right now everybody's searching for a place to pass. Uh-oh, Brandon Arthur looks like he's already torn the body off that thing. This is only his 2nd race in the 6100 category. Here comes Ray Griffith, charging hard. I think he's found a spot to pass.
Yeah, Griffith is on the gas, but Arthur is not. He is definitely slowing down. Looks like he's pulling up the course. Yeah, he was off pace there. You can actually hear a bit of a noise coming from the rear of the car. So this definitely seems terminal.
Tough break. The Pro Light standout from the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series looks like his day will be finished. He's had some bad luck here. Crashed bad a couple years ago. Some of these tracks, these guys just are cursed at. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, different race courses provide different challenges for different drivers, but this has been great. Like you said, a lot of close racing, and I think part of that to do with the side-by-side start, just bunching everyone up a little bit.
And I'll tell you this, James Dean has had a lot of trouble as of late in the buggy category. He may have found a new home in 6100. Diener takes the win. That's the way to turn the frown into a smile after a miserable day earlier.
Oh, absolutely. That's really great redemption. Here comes Mesa. He had a great drive as well. Not enough probably for that top spot, but a solid drive. But once again, very close. It's going to be interesting on elapsed time.
Ryan Hancock and the Alexander Ford team across. Let's catch up with a very euphoric James Dean.
Oh, man. First of all, I got to thank the Kraft family, all my people out here to do it. But we started 7th today, and it was just a mission. We came in this weekend to get a podium or a win, and I knew we had to move, so I was smart. I drove the buggy the heat before. Unfortunately, I had some bad luck there, but the truck ran amazing today. We had such a good day. My brother did an awesome job co-driving. I got to thank Allen Performance, Kraft Motorsports, Patrick Signs, Ultra Wheels, BF Goodrich, Cruise Armor, That Guy Services, and like I said, everyone that gets us out here. We couldn't do this without you, and we could not be any happier right now. This was definitely needed after that last race. Like I said, I just couldn't be happier. This was so much fun. I gotta thank everyone that got us out here. Brent Thiel for an awesome truck. Like I said, the Kraft family. And I'm gonna dedicate this one to my grandpa. He had a stroke a couple weeks ago, and oh man, this sucks. Sucks he can't be here to see this. He would have been so happy. So, like I said, this one goes out to my grandpa.
Sentimental, heartfelt victory for Diener. Terry Householder coming across. Let's catch up with Troy Messer. He was the 2nd vehicle to the finish line.
Really our first solid year in this truck, just trying to figure it out, and then today was a lot more fun. Yesterday was like, just you couldn't see 3/4 of the way, and just real out of control, and today was a lot more planted, sticky, real fun, real awesome track. So
Ray Griffith getting ready to finish here after a very consistent day. It was a consistent day for Ryan Hancock as well. He was 3rd. Let's talk to him.
We just go out and make sure we run our pace every time we go out, and the pace that we kept, that's just how we drive the truck, and we ended up with 3rd both days. We'll see where we are. Just Alexander Ford, Jordan Poole, Dustin at the shop. I mean, the truck was phenomenal all weekend, and let's just see where we end up. It's going to be close.
What a battle. The fans love it. Remember, hairspray on those electrical connections. That's the key. Congratulations to James Dean and Kyle Kraft. One of the biggest surprises, Grant, is Kyle Jurgensen, who was the hottest driver in this category. He was snake bitten here, was not able to get up on the podium.
Yeah, a tough day of racing for him, and a tough day for a few other drivers, as we've seen just a lot of vehicles having issues. And we saw the attrition rate very high, knowing that this track was very grueling today.
It's going to make for an exciting championship battle. We normally end the season here. Now it's only round 2. And guess what we got coming up next? The trick trucks are on deck. Don't go anywhere.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I got you.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Building a country is hard work. That's why Ford builds the Super Duty. To help build the roads, the buildings, and everything else that needs to get built. There are trucks. And then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
It's main event time from the King Shocks, Laughlin, Desert Classic, Dolan to Desert. Jack Rapella and Grant Langston here with you, and the question is, can anybody stop Jason Voss? Well, the man from Mexico, Abdali Lopez, sure hope so. Let's take you back to day number one. Justin Lofton was our number one qualifier. He was off to a great start, but the day would belong to Jason Voss, who's been nearly unstoppable on tour. He won here in the fall. He had a commanding performance last race, and he checked out. But we saw some incredible battles all over the track.
Yeah, you could see some more pushing around, slipping and sliding in these tough conditions, but Justin Lofton, just a master at this, looking smooth, and then all of a sudden, again, we see a driver pulling off the side for a mechanical. So frustrating.
Tough break there for the former ARCA standout, and Voss was doing what he does best. He comes from dirt bike background. He said, I love the water, I love the mud, I feel right at home. A big win for the King Shocks team, but how about this? Second to the finish line was the young gun, the man they brought in from Mexico, Abdali Lopez, and don't sleep on Householder because he was third to the finish line. We'll give you a look at the starting order for day number 2. It sets up a huge USA versus Mexico battle. Abdali Lopez in the Tony Smiley machine. This man is an X Games gold medalist. Moments ago, we caught up with Voss and Lopez about this epic battle.
Well, you know, Abdali ran good behind us. I think we got him by 51 seconds yesterday. So, hopefully we get him off the start here and just keep him behind us all day. And we're going to make him work for it.
Well, actually, yesterday we have a couple vision problems, so today have to be better. Jason Voss is a super fast driver, and we are excited to fight against him, and we will see who finishes on the top.
See if Lopez has an answer. Voss dominated the season opening race, finishing a whopping 25 minutes ahead of everybody else. But this young and hungry competitor from Tecate, Mexico is game and gung-ho. Look at this. Side by side we go.
Oh, this is two of the best you'll see behind the wheel. And you talk about Jason Voss's dominance at the last race. He's got to keep that in the back of his mind, knowing he's got all this talent behind him. Just believe in yourself and what you've been doing, and those King Shocks just look so good on that track, handling phenomenally well.
Tremendous support Voss receives from King Shocks. I was able to catch up with them earlier, and they explained to me the importance of the valving and the suspension and how they work so closely with Jason. They said 1/15,000th shim can make all the difference between winning and losing on a track like this.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, all the changes they can make, but it shows you how important it is to have a good crew around you and a driver that can give good feedback.
Voss off to a great start. Lopez not far behind. Lopez comes from that Baja racing background. He is right at home here, and I'll tell you, he is not intimidated by the mystique of the 5-time champion Jason Voss. He's going for it.
Well, I think at the moment, Lopez probably has a bit of an advantage. He can see what Voss is doing, and if he sees Voss's truck get a little sideways out of control, he can adjust for that. But with there not really being any dust, he can stick right there and follow those lines. Perfect position.
Voss won the Trick Truck Championship in 13, 14, 16, and 17. Off to a great start this year, looking to keep it going. Here comes Jack's red line. We talked about youngsters and rising stars. You ready for this? 15 years old.
Well, that just shows you young talent. Hey, little bicycle there. But a lot of, one thing about off-road racing, you'll see drivers from teenagers to, well, they could have their AARP card as well and still out there racing. These guys are dedicated.
Yeah, I asked Scott Harden what is the age requirement. He said you have to be able to drive. He's proven to us he can drive. We also saw Adam Householder as here comes Jordan Brenthal in the Brenthal Industries truck off to a great start.
Now this beginning part, you see the drivers really trying to get out of the starting blocks quick to get that clear track, but as we've seen, the dust very minimal at the moment, so not too bad if you're behind.
On board now with young 15-year-old Jax Redline. Redline going for a pass. No, here comes Kevin Thompson on the Harley Lettner machine. They lost a hood yesterday. They do not have a replacement. They're running with an open engine. Oh, look at the roost. Vicious.
Oh, that was just a great outbraking maneuver as we see Steve and Brett now, they're having their turn at the side-by-side.
Steve Olagus was stranded here back in the fall. I asked him, are you looking for redemption? He said, hey, don't remind me of that. I'm superstitious. I want a clean day today. This course has been known to punish and kill a lot of these trucks, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, you can tell why. It's definitely brutal, and I don't think I've seen it that rough. Tracy Graf now, another one of those drivers who would definitely be looking to move forward. We've seen Tracy put it up in a top 3 position before, so maybe not the best of qualifying he was hoping for, but we did talk about how so many drivers were just trying to get to the finish line. This is a great drag race right here.
Gotta love the door-to-door action here. The spectators can't get enough of this. If you have never had an opportunity to see this race live, please join us in Laughlin, Nevada. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your grill. You'll get to see some air. You'll get to see some door-to-door. And this is the battle that all eyes are on. Voss and Lopez. Look, here comes Lopez. He's sending it. Look out, he's standing on the gas. Wow. Lopez makes the pass.
Yeah, Voss came out of that corner and he just got bounced out of that line, and that was enough for Lopez to take the lead. This is great racing. We'll conclude when we come back.
The King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic is brought to you by Maxxis, your way to adventure. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks, and then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios, the authority in communications.
As you can tell, these big heavy trucks will get some unbelievable air. They'll also encounter 3 and 4 foot high whoops, bumps, rocks, everything. If you're going to compete in this type of racing, you better have great suspension. King Shocks is always up for the challenge. Albert, how do you guys build such effective shocks?
We just try to do the best that we can with American-made parts. And to be honest with you, a lot of times it's just trying different things and keep moving on with different technology. That's what put us on the top podiums at every race.
Last year, we watched Jason Voss hit the Needles Highway jump at 122 miles an hour. I don't know how any shock in the world holds up to that. What do you guys do? What type of testing is there to get a shock ready for that abuse?
Well, Jason Voss is one of our main team guys. So we develop a lot of technology with that team. We designed a 3.5 IBP coilover that helps the 4.5 bypass. All those combined, they'll take any speed, any jump you can think of. Well, one of the main things that we known as, we give a lot of support to all the drivers. We're always there to help the racers, and my job is to be at all the races, and I need to have all the parts and all the knowledge to be able to put those guys back in the podiums.
We're going to take a look at you rebuilding a shock. Tell me what you will do there.
All I got to do is just go through the shock, make sure it's fine, and put it back in the race.
What's that like for you? How much work are these race weekends?
You know what I mean? I like to help people, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I prepare myself to have all the parts and have the knowledge. So when I get to help somebody, it feels real good, to be honest with you.
We're certainly putting suspension to the test today, and the big question coming in, could anybody stop Jason Voss's dominance? So far, the young man from Mexico, Abdali Lopez, is answering that with an emphatic yes. He is our leader in the Smiley vehicle, and we got to give you an update of where we're at and take you back. And Grant, we might have to see that unbelievable pass one more time.
Oh, these guys were racing like this was short course racing, not open desert stuff. I mean, we don't get to see that often. Just phenomenal.
Abdali showing he will not be intimidated. He's also a King Shocks racer, and as you can tell, they are hooking up big time on the Smiley Motorsports machine. Now let's take you back moments ago and watch this unbelievable pass. Abdali tried about 2 or 3 times to get by Voss. Look at this. I've never seen a truck pop a wheelie like that before. Vision was a major problem. At this point, you got to be wondering, is Abdali just standing on the gas, sending it? Look at his visor. Finally pulls the tear off. But Grant, he got the job done. How did he get around?
That was just really impressive. I think that was willpower there. You saw him come out of the corner hard on the throttle. The front end got light, almost like a motocross move. Got the front wheels over those big whoops and just powered down. I think Voss just had nothing to respond with.
Taking a look now at Adam Householder, also a King Shocks customer, 35 years old with that 480 cubic inch Chevy motor hooking up. Brenthal, 4th place on track. So many different strategies out there. I wonder, was there part of Voss that said, let me be a little bit more conservative and maybe wait for my opportunity to catch Abdali, or did Abdali just roar by him? I don't know.
I think Abdali was going really fast, and Voss didn't really have a choice but had to follow him. Thompson also with a strong drive. Seen the drivers really starting to use that throttle to help get that truck settled into these big braking bumps.
Well, I'll tell you, Householder right now, one of the quickest vehicles on track. We've focused so much on that Abdali-Voss matchup. Taking a look now at Adam Householder as he gets some air over the popular Needles Highway jump. Checking in now with Jason Voss. Uh-oh, Grant. We're getting reports of a flat tire on the 35. This is a race where any problem will cost you so much precious time. In some of the longer marathon races, a flat's not that detrimental, but here, this could be the end of the day for Voss. We'll see how quickly they can get that changed.
You think if it's just a tire, they will get it sorted out, but definitely losing valuable time. Steve Ogelis coming through there from not far away, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, let's hope it's not a mechanical and just a tire. And when I say end of the day, I mean Voss's chances of getting a podium could be in jeopardy with the way that Householder's running and also the way that Abdali's running. And how about this young man, 15 years old, Jack's Redline? I think it's safe to say he's going to get his driver's license when he turns 16.
I think he's qualified. But you see the line selection there now. Look at this, even the left side of our advertising banners there. So drivers getting really creative. You saw so many lines. Jack's choosing to go to the outside, obviously a lot larger distance to cover, but the bump's way smaller, and we've seen with these trucks how they've been braking. You've got to weigh up your option, risk versus reward.
Look at that 30-plus inches of suspension travel going to work. Some intelligent driving on display by Jack's, choosing the proper line. Whoa, you don't want to overdrive. You don't want to get out of control. That's one thing a lot of drivers have said. You try to be too aggressive out there, and you'll be stuck.
Talk about being stuck. These corners getting so bogged down for these trucks. The braking bumps getting bigger. This track has changed, well, the course, I should say, so much over the last few laps. It's almost amazing to me. How do these guys set it up? Do you go for when the track's a little smoother, or do you want it to work better when it's extremely rough like we see it is right now?
On board now with Sean Kroll running 8th place on track, hunting down the fast Canadian Tracy Graff. Do you notice how many of these vehicles, too, are running without hoods? We've got body work all over the place.
You see the difference in lines there, but I think just cost him a little bit of time going a little wider. But another thing you're noticing is look how many of these rocks are becoming exposed. That nice soil on top being pushed off. And that could cause issues too if you get too close.
There's so many different mindsets and psyches out there. A lot of racers have said, like Justin Laughlin, you got to go for it. But Grant, to your point, if you're too aggressive, you'll get a flat. We're going to sort this thing out when we return.
Building a country is hard work. That's why Ford builds the Super Duty. To help build the roads, the buildings, and everything else that needs to get built. There are trucks. And then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios. The authority in communications.
We're charging to a rousing finish here at the King Shocks Laughlin Desert Classic. Dole in the desert, and that man, the hired gun from Mexico, is doing exactly what he was brought in to do. Win this race and take out Jason Voss. So far, Abdali Lopez is having an absolutely magnificent performance. Can he keep it together? That's the question. Let's give you an update of where we're at.
Well, we're getting deep into this race now, and just pretty much a couple miles left on this, but hey, as we've seen, anything can happen, and expect something to happen, as we've seen already.
Lopez looks so comfortable. Jason Voss has been fighting flat tires all day. Adam Householder is on the move. We're getting word that he is still one of the quickest vehicles on track. 35-year-old second-generation racer on the move.
Having a look back at Kevin Thompson, third on track, and what we've seen happening with some of the top drivers, just staying steady at the moment.
Wait a minute, Grant. Sorry to cut. Wait a minute. You got to be kidding me.
That's not up to speed.
Abdali Lopez off the pace. This could be disastrous. After the magnificent performance that he has put in, is this it for Lopez? It doesn't look like there's a flat.
That's got to be, that's definitely mechanical. It just looked to me like he just rolled to a standstill, like he's getting no power to the rear wheels. So interesting. But how about Laughlin? He's making his way up.
Yes, he is. This is going to change everything. I thought Lopez was on his way to a victory, but if they cannot refire that truck, and what we're hearing now is a drive shaft, that could be it for those guys. We told you, this merciless desert would claim some vehicles. I just didn't think it would claim one so close to the finish line.
Oh, it'll claim you anyway. Tracy Graff, another solid drive. And he's also got to be thinking, hey, man, I've passed a few guys that have been stranded. This is good for, one, the result overall, but two, hey, he's right in this points championship battle.
Yeah, it's a whole new race. Uh-oh, Jason Voss, we're hearing another flat tire. Gosh, We're also getting reports of rock surfacing like never before. I think these trucks are chewing up this course, that they're finding these sharp rocks that were buried in the surface. Here's Abdali out of the vehicle. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's just trying to signal to the drivers coming through to avoid him. And Householder, well, new leader on track. Who would have thought this just a lap ago?
They've said it time and time again, consistency wins races. We were also fixated on that USA versus Mexico battle, and here's Householder just minding his business, putting in fast, consistent laps, and right now, he's in a golden position.
It's just so tough, I think, for drivers when the track or the course is so primo and so much traction. You drive it hard when you put your equipment to the test, and we've just seen it between flats and mechanicals. This has really changed the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, the checkered flag for your winner, Adam Householder. A hard-earned first to the finish line today. We'll have to wait and calculate the time. This is going to be razor close now. The Lopez breakdown and the Voss flat tires have thrown a huge monkey wrench into our combined elapsed time from day 1 to day 2.
Yeah, and then Kevin Thompson second across the line. Great drive for him. But let's have a chat with Adam Householder and see how it went.
I feel good, man. Laughlin's a tough one. I mean, you got to play the gamble. You have to run hard the first day to keep up on time, but you also have to make sure you have your equipment there on day two. I ran a good pace yesterday, not enough to beat my equipment. We went over the truck today, made sure, fine-tooth comb, make sure we had a good truck for today, and we just played the gamble, and I think we ended up on top. To beat some of these guys, man, it's awesome. There's fast guys, Voss, Lettner, Concrete, Abdali. I mean, those guys are quick, and to be right there, you know, it feels really good.
We'll talk to you again in a second. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, this is going to be razor close. Best in the Desert doing some calculations right now. We want to thank the 10 full-time employees and 200 volunteers that put these events on. Let's talk the second to the finish line, Kevin Thompson, in the meantime.
Feel good, man. That I love Laughlin. That was a hell of a lot of fun, man. So, yeah, no, it does hell of a lot of fun. We just kept our nose clean, drove hard, but not beat her up. Looks like a few guys probably beat their stuff up and put us up to, I think, second. So we can use that. And I think there's a couple of DNFs that work in our favor for points. And that's what we're here for. That last lap, I just laid down because there was nothing to gain. So I just laid down and just got it to the finish. So if we end up second, it's pretty awesome. Congratulations. If Householder won, he's due. Congratulations to that team.
The conservative strategy pays off. Let's kick it down to Justin Laughlin, who was the third vehicle to cross the finish line.
Yesterday we had a great pace going, and we just lost an input shaft. There's a rain rut out there that we just G'd out on, and I was a little too much throttle. You know, you putting 1,100 horsepower to the ground, and you got Yokohama tires providing all that grip. It's really hard on parts. And today we didn't have anything to lose. We went out and put a new gearbox in it last night. And the guys worked pretty much all night long. I think my navigator got about 2 or 3 hours, and we went out there and let it all hang out. And Fox Shocks, they made the ride smooth, and Yokohama Tires gave me all the grip, and and we're here. Hopefully we got it.
Congratulations, and Grant, we do have official results. It was very close, but Adam Householder is going to take the overall. Kevin Thompson is second, as he suspected, and Jason Voss salvages a podium. Congratulations.
Well, that's huge for him because obviously the points is the big picture. You see Voss holds on to the top. Tracy Graff, 2 consistent results, puts him in there. A little bit of work to be done by a few drivers, including Justin Laughlin.
They say you win championships on your worst day. Voss perseveres, battles through 2 flat tires. The King Shocks machine is still in the lead. Can't wait for the next round of Best in the Desert. For Grant Langston, I'm Jack Rapella. We'll see you next time.